Greetings, Lucky Legends. My name is Lucky, this is Lucky Dad TV. I am your host for this video, and it's time for another Wi-Fi battle. I love Wi-Fi battles. I love Wi-Fi battles. I'm gonna go to music 22, because I don't think I've ever used that one. And I like variety. 22. Battle start. We are battling another very good friend of mine, again, from the Nip Slips family. His name is Money Making Pat, and he's awesome. I love that guy. He's so much fun. As you can see, we both have Hydreigon because we both know the power of Hydreigon. And we also see on my opponent... Oh, right. I finally have a pad of paper for me to write on. And I have a pencil right here. So my opponent has an Entei, a Milotic, which is a problem, a Trevenant, which pisses me the fuck off, a Hydreigon, a Heliolisk, which I love to see because Heliolisk is awesome, and a Espeon. That's what that thing is called. So, my opponent has no way of putting up Stealth Rocks, and unless the Hydreigon has Defog, he has no way of getting rid of them either. However, the magic bounce of Espeon could be an issue, because that could end up putting rocks up on my side. I think I'm going to open up with... Juggernaut. Because I can get my Mega Evolution off, and I can paralyze anything on my opponent's team other than the Heliolisk. I don't know. I don't need summary. That was an accident. Other than the Heliolisk, and I'm really bringing this thing down to timer. But we're good to go now. Hopefully we'll be able to, you know, figure out some items and all that sort of stuff. Keep track of everything. Oh, I just panicked for a second because I opened up the viewer for my 3DS thing, and it was a black screen because it was in between those two things, and I freaked out a little bit. And we don't really have anything to hit my opponent with, and a Volt Switch is actually going to hurt. A Hyper Voice would not, but I think we're going to switch out. I'm going to switch out right into Thorns, actually. Because I know Heliolisk is a special attacker. I don't know what it's going to go for, but whatever it goes for, I know I can eat it up with Thorns, because Thorns has special defense out the ass. Volt Switch. I kind of figured it would be a Volt Switch, so that my opponent could get some Switch initiative. The issue is, well, now my opponent's probably going to go out into the Entei. That would be my guess. That would make the most sense. Entei's kind of looking... Well, Entei and Trevenant look like the only physical attackers on my opponent's team. There comes out the Entei. It's sacred! Entei is exerting its pressure. I do not want to catch a Sacred Fire. I really don't. I don't want to catch an E-Speed either. But Monopoly Guy should be able to eat up anything. And we're about to see what this Entei is doing. My guess, it's probably the classic Choice Banded Entei. Going for the Iron Head, we do resist that. I am very glad I switched out. I could have switched out into my Aggron, but I didn't really think it would be that necessary. This Entei has Iron Head. I actually didn't know it got Iron Head. That's a really cool move choice, though. And I'm going to... That Heliolisk could have Dry Skin. So I don't want to... I'm going to double switch into my Aggron. I can't set up rocks with that Espeon still around. Because I want to go for the Scald. I gotta switch out into Juggernaut. Because I gotta get my rocks up to start. My opponent switches out into the Heliolisk, predicting the thing. The Skull. Because, so I know this thing has Dry Skin. That's the only reason it would switch in. So I know I can say Dry Skin for this. And I'm gonna risk it and go to set up my rocks. Something tells me... I don't really know what my opponent has to really take on a Mega Aggron. Mega Aggron's a freaking monster. Literally, it's a monster. But its physical defense is like insanely high. And I'm not happy about catching a Volt Switch, or maybe even like a Thunderbolt may come through. Hard switch by my opponent into the Hydreigon. I'm fine with that. I just wanted to be able to get my rocks up. And at this point, so that Hydreigon probably has like Earth Power, maybe Flamethrower, Fire Blast. Hydreigon gets a bunch of different interesting stuff. But I'm going to switch out into Thorns because, you know, unless this is a physical Hydreigon, I'm not too worried about it. My opponent can defog those rocks away if it has defog. Earth Power. I don't think they have defog then. Because probably would have went for it. That does nothing, as it should. This thing has Earth Power. I kind of figured it... Well, I didn't figure it might, but I know that it learns it. Earth Power. The only Mon on my opponent's team that's gonna eat up a Moonblast is Entei. So... because my opponent has to switch out into Entei in case I go for the Moonblast. I'm going to go for the Moonblast because, you know, that'll be... the Moonblast won't do much to Entei, but the Stealth Rocks will. The Stealth Rocks are going to start chipping away at that Entei. And I'm going to be... oh, Trevenant comes in. I didn't expect that. But Trevenant comes in. Why would Trevenant come in? Because this should do a decent amount. Okay, that does absolutely nothing. And I don't know what this thing's going to want to do. So I'm going to immediately switch out into... I'm going to switch out into Slam Puppy. If this thing goes for Substitute, I would have to just, you know, Flare Blitz over and over again. It may go for a Will-O-Wisp. It may go for... oh, it goes for the Leech Seed. I'm actually okay with that. Trevenant has Leech Seed. Leech Seed. That doesn't bother me too much. Especially since Flare Blitz should be a 2-hit KO. I'm not choiced, so I don't have an issue going for the Flare Blitz. My opponent would probably switch out into probably the Milotic or the Hydreigon. Because, you know, switching out into Entei is not going to do him that good just because Entei doesn't have the coverage to beat Arcanine that well. Scylla maybe. The Milotic is catching this, catching the Flare Blitz. Oh, the crit. That wasn't even a crit? Wow. And this thing's going to regain some health leftovers, and then I can kill it with a Wild Charge, because that's super effective. And like I said when I built this team, Hydreigon Arcanine very easily could go down relatively early in any given match. You have Recover, and you outspeed me. I'm not happy about either of those things. Here's hoping that Wild Charge will actually take you out. It is super effective. No, but an Extreme Speed will. Extreme Speed will take you out. It should. I mean, it's neutral. Yeah, it should take you out. Actually, after Leech Seed, I don't even know if it will, so... I really don't want to... Because this thing outspeeds me, that's the problem. Wild Charge did, like, 90%, super effective. And Extreme Speed should do, like, 40... Extreme Speed should kill. I think it'll kill. Yes! Get out of here, Milotic. That's a dead Milotic. That is a dead Milotic. Yo, Slam Puppy hits like a monster. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Slam Puppy hits like a monster. I do need to switch out though, because that Leech Seed is really starting to take a toll on me. The Heliolisk is going to come through. This thing, I am all but certain, is Scarfed. I honestly don't know what else it could be. I'm going to switch out into Vinny this time. Hoping to catch my opponent's... hoping to catch my opponent trying to Volt Switch. Go out into my Vinny. Volt Switch does not affect Vinny, so now my opponent has to make a hard switch. My opponent has to make a hard switch. Go out into Trevenant, that'll eat up a ground type attack. Go out into Hydreigon, it's immune. Entei can't come in. I'm just gonna go for a knockoff. I mean, I don't really have to go for anything else. I think it's definitely Scarfed. Scarf. And the Trevenant comes in to catch a big knockoff from my man Vinny. I don't think it'll take it out, but you know, it's gonna do a lot. Oh, it took it out. Damn, Vinny. That's a dead Trevenant right there. A dead Trevenant right there. So, what my opponent has left, the Heliolisk, the Espeon, which has yet to hit the field, the Hydreigon, and the Entei. We're sitting here, I'm pretty sure we still have all 6 of ours. The Team Lucky still has all six of its members, if I'm counting correctly. I don't think we've lost anybody. Those Stealth Rocks were crucial. Espeon may not have Magic Bounce on it. It may have a different ability. But my opponent's taking a long time to think about what to go into because the Heliolisk is going to come through. This thing does get Surf. I know that. I don't really understand how or why, but I know that. And I don't know what you would lock yourself into. I'm pretty sure I can take that hit anyway. I'm going to stay in and go for Earthquake. It's a bit of a risky play. I knew, see? It got Surf, but it's not Stab. There we go. That Heliolisk is gone. I knew my opponent wouldn't go for Volt Switch, and I was virtually certain I could live that Surf because I have the Assault Vest, I have the Investment, and I'm max HP, bulky method of course. So I was confident in taking one Surf, and I knew an Earthquake would kill because Heliolisk is extremely frail. The issue now is the Entei. The Entei is now an issue. And I'm immediately going to switch out into my Florges. Thorns the Florges. Because I really don't have anything for that Entei anymore. I know this thing learns Surf too. Just so you know. Hydreigon goes for the Earth Power. We've seen how much that does. It does like 5%. We get our Leftovers Recovery. At this point, I'm going to go for a Wish. I'm going to fight. I'm going to Wish. And my opponent's going to switch out. My opponent has to switch out. There's no way of staying in. And in comes probably the Entei. Yeah, there's the Entei. Sacred. And it's about to catch... Actually, it's not going to catch anything. I'm setting up a Wish. to be caught by someone. And who am I going to switch into? My opponent, this thing, my guess. Extreme Speed. I'm itchy. Extreme Speed, Sacred Fire, Iron Head, and some other move. I don't know what the last move would be. I'm going to switch out into... I'm going to switch right back out into Monopoly Guy, because now that that Heliolisk is gone, I can actually Scald away. Hydreigon walls my... Hydreigon walls this thing, but I can still fire off a Scald. That did a lot. And I'm not surprised that it burns. 50% chance to burn. I think this is a Choice Banded Entei. And we catch the Wish too. I completely forgot about that actually. And we're just gonna Scald. My opponent's probably gonna switch out into the Hydreigon, knowing that it walls me. It resists both of my stabs. There's the Hydreigon. However, if we can get a burn off on this thing, it'll be pretty helpful. Racking up some more chip damage. Because the Stealth Rocks are doing pretty nicely at sort of breaking down my opponent. And I don't know what the fuck this thing's gonna do, but whatever it's gonna do, none of my Pokemon are really gonna appreciate it. So I'm gonna switch out into Thorns, one Mogian. The thing is, generally speaking, the Stealth Rocks are gonna be taking Entei down. Because my opponent's not gonna let me hit it with Scald. And see, there's Thorns. Thorns is about to eat up a Dark Pulse. Not very effective, of course. And I just made a double switch there to get my guy out of the way, to get Monopoly Guy out of the way. And right now, I'm just gonna go straight for a Moonblast. I'm not gonna switch. I don't really think it's necessary at this point. My opponent's going to switch out probably into the Entei once again. Espeon's going to come through. Espeon's not going to appreciate this very much. Espeon is not really going to appreciate a Moonblast. Actually, no, probably will. I have no special attack. I have like no special... Oh, that's a 2-hit KO. That's a 2-hit KO on this Espeon. So I'm going to go for it again, because Espeon can't touch me. It has Psyshock, but that won't take me out. Espeon's strong, but it's not that strong. That's apparently does not have Psyshock. Apparently it has Psychic. And Florges is gonna come through, take out the Espeon. So Espeon is Gonzo. And now my opponent's Entei probably has to my opponent's Entei has to come in because Hydreigon can't touch Thorns. Hydreigon's a special attacker, it can't touch Thorns. Thorns has way too much in the way of special defense. So Entei comes through, and well, let me think. You can go for the Iron Head, you can go for the Sacred Fire. He could go for the Extreme Speed if he has it, because that would be a 2-hit KO on Thorns, most likely. Assuming this is a Choice Banded Entei, that would be a 2-hit KO. You know what? I'm going to scout out what my opponent's going to do, and I'm going to switch out into Monopoly Guy. Because I have no idea what my opponent's going to do. Entei has really, really good coverage. Sacred Fire, which missed. That's unfortunate. In the long run, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, but that is unfortunate. And I'm actually going to switch out once again and go right out into my Juggernaut. Because did he not switch? Did I just make a huge mistake? I did! Well, that's unfortunate. That still doesn't do much. I do get burned, however. And, I don't think I'm taking another one of those. I really don't. Trigun, you're coming through. I'm gonna switch out into my Hydreigon. Sorry, I gotta get resituated. That was a big mistake on my part. I was trying to be all fancy. This is definitely a Choice Banded Entei. CB Entei. And it has Sacred Fire. I ate that up. No burn this time. I'm going for Dragon Pulse. It'll take out the Entei, and if my opponent switched in for some reason, it would take that thing out too. The Hydreigon. There's the burn this time. Sacred Fire has a 50% chance to burn, which in my opinion means a 100% chance to burn. That's going to be a dead Entei, so Entei is gone. And my opponent is left with nothing but that Hydreigon, and I still have Thorns. And I will probably switch out to Thorns immediately. Because Thorns fears no Hydreigon. I'm going to switch out right now. Right out into Thorns. And this is a really good example of the bulky method doing what it does best. I mean, when I'm able to set up and sweep with Mega Scizor, that's a good example too. But this is a much better example because it's showing that, oh, that was a crit. And the burn! God damn. Not bad. It doesn't bother me that much because, you know, it's 6-1 right now. But I actually don't know how I'm gonna... Thorns is about to go down. Thorns is about to go down. Unless I can miraculously... Yeah, Fire Blast is gonna hit. My guess is this thing is... Specs? It's probably a Specs Hydreigon. Thorns goes down. Kinda had to. And Arcanine can come in and close combat this thing to death. I don't know what item Hydreigon has. Oh, so it is Specs. It is in fact Specs. That was a Specs Hydreigon, and it is dead now to a close combat. That's a very good game to my opponent, Money Making Pat. I love Pat. Link to his Twitter in the description down below. I don't think he has a YouTube channel. And I'm sitting in the Nip Slip family chat right now. And Mopman, who I battled a little bit ago, he's like, the team is too goddamn bulky. And I'm like, hey, it's the team that I'm comfortable using. But again, great game to my friend Patrick. It's not bulky, it's perfect. It's not bulky, it's thick. Great game to my opponent Patrick. I keep going off. If you guys enjoyed, if you felt like you got something out of this, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. It's very much greatly appreciated. But with that, I'm gonna get about best of luck to you out there. I really gotta slow down for that. Best of luck to you out there. I will see you all soon.